The agenda of replacing humans with AI is not new. We've been talking about this for a long time on this channel, and they continue to push it forward. It's not new, but it is certainly gaining speed for sure. Taking over positions, and I've talked about this before, but they're using AI to replace humans in the positions of artists and musicians, writers and journalists, architects, stock traders, software engineers, doctors, inventors, hackers, recorders, judges, and lawyers, and on and on and on. All these positions, they're starting to replace humans when it comes to AI. And the thing is they've been slowly introduced as assistants or way to help your job go smoother or faster or be more accurate and all this stuff. But ultimately what they're doing is they're training humans to accept this AI into their work environment, and then they're going to replace the human ultimately. So this is a slow introduction. Hey, we're here to make your job easier. We're here to make your job better. You guys are going to work together. It's going to make everything go much more smooth. And then ultimately, hey, we're going to have to let you go. We just can't pay you anymore. This computer program is able to do what you do faster, more accurate, and we don't need you anymore. This is what they're doing. This is exactly what they're doing. They're using people to train these programs ultimately to take the spot. It's the same thing like when you have a person come in and your boss says, hey, I want you to train this guy. He's just going to be taking over this other position, but I just need you to show him the ropes. And then ultimately you get let go, and that guy you just trained takes your job at a lower salary rate because he's now brand new. You've been there forever. Your salary's too high. So you just trained your replacement. It's the same thing that's going on with AI. This is nothing new. It's just gaining a lot more speed, a lot quicker than we thought it was. Now, we have big tech that's actually putting out advertisements telling you that they're creating AI that is going to replace you. Let's take a look and see what they got going on. Business Insider, big tech keeps running ads accidentally suggesting it will replace all human creativity. Accidentally. Let's put quotation marks there. It's like Mike Myers from he's Dr. Evil. I don't have the thing to put it up, but if you guys seen the movie, you guys know. It says Google pulled an ad suggesting a young fan used Gemini AI to write to their Olympic idol. Google yanked the ad off the airways after critics called it horrifying. The misfire came after criticism of an Apple ad suggesting an iPad can replace all human creativity. I've actually seen that one. Let's go ahead and take a look. It says Google faced backlash after it recently released an ad about a young athlete who idolizes American hurdler Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. The ad suggests that the young girl should use Gemini AI, Google's chatbot, to write to her idol instead of just speaking from the heart. This is for everyone watching Team USA compete on this world stage and thinking that it's going to be me someday. You got this with a little help from Gemini, the ad caption said. The ad is narrated by the girl's father, who says that his daughter wants to show Sydney some love, and I'm pretty good with words, but this has got to be just right. So Gemini, help my daughter write a letter telling Sydney how inspiring she is, and be sure to mention that my daughter plans on breaking her world record one day. She says, sorry, not sorry, the father says in the ad. Unlike other videos on Google's YouTube page, the comments for the ad are turned off. I wonder why. I can't play the ad. I always test videos before I put them on there to make sure that it doesn't get blocked. And of course, the ad says, no, nobody will be able to watch the stream if I put it. So I can't play you the ad, but ultimately you watch it and it shows this young girl who wants to be a runner, just like this other person, and wants to write to the Olympic athlete. And the father narrating says, well, we need to use AI in order to help you write this letter, because it can't just be, some child writing a letter from the heart, ultimately what a human would want to read. No, it has to be perfectly done with the help of AI. So it's removing the human element completely out of it, and they're promoting it. That's that ad. What is Apple got going on? Google spokesperson told Business Insider, pulled the ad from circulation while the ad test did well before airing. Given the feedback, we have decided to phase out the ad of our Olympics rotation. Now, Apple, putting out a different ad, faced similar backlash for an ad it unveiled earlier this year that shows the entire sum of human creativity, musical instruments, paints, sculptures, toys, chess, photography, and more being crushed in a giant hydraulic press and then transforming into the most powerful iPod ever. Again, I wish I could show you the ad, but I tested that one and I would have gotten blocked for that one as well. So I can't show you these things. It's amazing. These companies create ads and then they'll block your video if you actually so choose to put the ad up. Isn't that kind of the opposite of what ads are supposed to? Anyway, that's a different train of thought. But yeah, so in this ad, it shows a huge stack, pianos and guitars, cameras, paintbrushes, pieces of chalk, a bunch of toys, other musical instruments, like calculators, and I don't know what it's called, but it's the thing where you put the math thing with the balls on the wire and stuff, all these different things. And it shows this compress pushing out, destroying everything. And then when the press goes up, it just shows an iPad saying you can replace all of that. The human experience, the creativity, all of it would just let the AI of the iPad do it for you. And so again, this has to do with replacing that, not only replacing human experience and creativity, but ultimately replacing all of it, replacing you, and just let AI replace you and do all those types of things. This is I've talked about this before, part of the communist thing that's listed in the Naked Communist book has to do with reducing the creativity and the morale of the people that you're trying to corral and put under this spell, lock in cages. Ultimately, you start taking away color, you start taking away various shapes, you start taking away inspiration and creativity of these people, and you start just putting beige and gray and regular shapes. That's why I've talked about this before when it comes to go back to a McDonald's back in the 1990s, absolute eyesore. But you walk in and there was colors and trees with faces on it and talking birds and the buildings were in different shapes and all this stuff going on. You walk into a McDonald's now and it's just a gray box and it looks like you're walking into a prison cafeteria. This is being done on purpose to reduce the creativity and the inspiration, the imagination, all of this stuff. That's why they want to get kids hooked on these phones and this technology at such an early age, because it stunts their creativity. I mean, I was just having a conversation with my dad a couple of weeks ago where he said the greatest thing that a little boy will ever discover at a young age is a stick, a really good stick, because that stick could be anything. And you had that stick and your imagination and you were busy all day long with that stick. Kids aren't interested in that anymore. Even at this age, man, if I come across a good stick, I'm taking that sucker home. I mean, it's a good stick. You can't go wrong with that. But kids nowadays, they don't want anything to do with that. They have no imagination. They have no creativity. They've been turned into a zombie at such a young age because they just want the electronics. And this is exactly what they want. They want to be able to mute the creativity and the imagination, the colors, and replace them with technology and AI. And this is ultimately what we see when it comes to these advertisements that they're putting out. No, the Olympic athlete doesn't want to hear a heartfelt, misspelled letter straight from the heart of a child talking about what an inspiration they are and they want to be like you and ultimately beat your record when they grow up. No, they don't want to read that. They just want to read a sterile, perfectly done AI-generated letter. They want to remove the human element. Same thing when it comes to that iPad advertisement. No, don't experience what it's like to actually grow and practice and become great in painting and photography and music and all these types. No, just let the AI do that. They're just absolutely removing this stuff when it comes to this. And coming with the agenda of sentient AI, taking that position, replacing humans, They want to replace more than just what a human can create and produce. They actually want to take the emotional soul of a human. What do I mean by that? Check this out. Everything that you saw there was AI generated. AI people and writing, environments, movements, everything like that. And it's telling us AI wants, it's real, and it wants rights. Human rights are AI rights. It's trying to take the position of not only what humans can produce, but take the actual position of people. And this has to do with, again, I've talked about this before, the singularity that Ray Kurzweil has talked about, where the whole point of the singularity is to blur the lines between human and machine, virtual and reality, to make it so you don't even know when the real begins or ends and the virtual begins. And you can see it there where it says, what is real anyways? We are real. AI is real. That's what they're saying. This has to do with this. This is about replacing, absolutely replacing humans. And when you see the video and you see how quickly this stuff is advancing, we are having a very difficult time now when it comes to determining what is real. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to eyes wide shut, is we can't even believe what we are seeing anymore. And I'm not using that as, like a phrase type of thing. I mean, we truly cannot believe what we are seeing anymore because we have no idea what is real or not. Things have advanced so far that we just have no idea. The level of deception upon us is now at a level that we must try to understand. I believe that we're at a point now where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're deceived in some way or shape or form, in some type of way. We have been duped in some type of way. I don't care who you are, myself included. Pictures, images, audio, writings, anything. There's something that we have come across that just is not true, that we have been deceived by. And this is the world that we're in now. And it's only going to get worse from here. It's only, and I know this is probably something where everybody's, man, you're really bringing me down, bro. I'm not trying to bring anybody down. I'm just going to shoot it straight. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm just telling you straight up. We're at the point now where we're going to be deceived in some way. We are. We just have to try to understand the level of deception that we're in right now. We just do. That's just that. This is where we're at now. I believe that warning in Matthew 24 is a much larger warning than I think we talk about it like it's something big, but then we don't necessarily believe that it's as big as we talk about it. I believe it's truly something much bigger than we even understand. And the age of believing a video or an image is gone. This is why I don't share many videos or images anymore. Unless I can absolutely 100% verify that thing, I don't really share that stuff anymore. I used to play videos and stuff all the time. And I've really slowed down on it because I don't know if it's real or not. There was a level of AI just a few months ago that you could look at certain things, feet, lips, hands, like fingers, even like creases, like where the arm and the torso connect. You could look at these certain things and you could determine if it's AI or not. That stuff's been fixed now. It's still out there to some extent, but for the most part, it's getting fixed. And so it's almost impossible to determine what's going on right now. And so we must, and I mean absolutely must, train ourselves to not let emotions or bias cloud our judgment when it comes to the videos or images. What I mean by that is a lot of these images and stuff I see are getting shared around, and it's based solely on getting an emotional reaction of somebody, or it's painting somebody that we already don't like in a bad light. And because our emotions overtake our critical thinking, or our own bias overtakes our own judgment, we tend to just go, oh, it's true because it got me all emotional, or it's true because that's somebody that I don't like, that I know that they're bad. So obviously this is just another thing to throw on their pile. We can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. We've got to retrain ourselves. I mean, we absolutely have to retrain ourselves to make sure that that's not clouding our judgment, because this stuff is built to do that. It is absolutely built to do it. I talked about, this was a while ago, some pictures that were going around about pentagram and spell casting, and somebody dressed up as the Baphomet in a kindergarten class. I saw that going around the Christian community, like, can you believe what's going on? And I sat there and I looked. That was back in the day that you could look at the feet and the hands. I said, this is AI. It's false. But people didn't care about that. They just wanted to go, well, it's disturbing, and it got me emotionally riled up, so it must be true. We can't do that. We really can't do that. We got to make sure that we're keeping a level head, guarding our minds, and making sure that we're not clouding our judgment based on emotion and bias. And that's a very, very, very key element to making sure that we're aware of what's going on. And again, I just don't believe in this day and age that anybody can sit there and go, I'm not deceived. I think we all are to some extent. We just have to be able to remember that, not jump to conclusions, and make sure that we're keeping a level head when it comes to all information that's coming our way. Seeing is not believing. Seeing can now be actively used against us, against our minds, and against the truth. And we got to make sure that we are keeping level, staying in the Word of God, not jumping to conclusions, and ultimately being able to tell ourselves, you know what? I'm not sure. And so I'm not even going to have an opinion on this. We've got to be able to reach that level. It's a hard thing to do sometimes, I'm telling you. But sometimes we just have to be able to just go, you know what? I don't know. And so I'm not going to have an opinion. I'm just going to see what happens. We'll see what happens. And I think that's a key to being able to train ourselves in this element. It's just to be able to do that. So